Peace and greetings. Welcome to the Synchro-Galactic Yoga Symbology. What is Synchro-Galactic Yoga? First of all, Synchro-Galactic Yoga is a scientific process of self-synchronization that activates our etheric body. And in this day and time, we're more concerned with building our etheric body, our inner temples, and to upgrade our senses, according to supramental codes of cosmic consciousness. Through the practices of this Synchro-Galactic Yoga, what we're doing is opening up our inner awareness to different forms of yoga combined with the synchronic order. All right, and below on the note, we see that an example of the synchronic order would be to follow the 13-moon 28-day calendar. All yoga is for purpose of self-realization. And we're going to begin with level 1. There's 4 levels to Synchro-Galactic Yoga, but we're not going to actually do Synchro-Galactic Yoga. What we're doing is breaking down the components that involves it. So with level 1, meditating the chakras, we're talking the crown chakra, the root, the third eye, the secret center, the throat, the solar plexus, and the heart chakra. Of course, we know we have other chakras. We have many chakras, but we're going to talk about these 7 major chakras or energy centers. Level 2, activating the radioplasma. What is a radioplasma? Instead of saying days, we say Dali, Celi, Gamma, Cali, Alpha, Limi, Cilio. Those are our radioplasmas. Level 3, engaging the mental spheres. That's going to be the preconscious, subconscious, waking conscious mediumship, continuing conscious, superconscious, subliminal conscious, and cosmic enlightenment, which are all 6 mental spheres plus 1. Last but not least is level 4, when we're opening up the heptad gate. Heptad gates, and when we're doing that, we are not only visualizing the mental sphere that we're in, coupled with whatever galactic channel that we're working with. We're going to either say Om or Haram or Haram or Haraha or any one of these that's correlating or corresponding to the radioplasma that we're on. Let's take Dali, for instance. Dali, we see a lot of information on here. We're going to start with the first mental sphere of cosmic creation, because that's Dali. And what does that do? The cosmic creation deals with mastery of cosmic forces. It deals with so much more, but for the sake of just a general idea, it's dealing with mastery of cosmic forces. And so let's locate the heptad gate 108 and the alpha symbol on the 441 hollow mind perceiver. Alpha symbols, these symbols that we see that look like V-shape, either blue or red, these are what we call the intergalactic channels. And each channel represents something. And we go more into it in Synchro-Galactic Yoga classes. We see that gate 108 is going to represent the red dragon, also known as Emish. That's going to activate or open the 2nd circuit in the 7th time dimension here. It's going to be vertical time cosmic command descending. And once again, we see that the mantra is Om. Note that the South Pole is the front part of the forehead, and the North Pole is in the back of the head. ZELLE is the 2nd heptad gate or plasma. We see that that's Haram, BMU 291, but let's locate it. It's located here. What is this? This symbol is the blue hand, also known as Manik. And it's going to represent Alpha Beta, BMU 351. And this is going to open up the 5th circuit. And we're still in the 7th time dimension here in the back of the head, where it looks like the top of the head. But actually, we're looking down. Everything to the right is actually on our left side, and everything to the left is actually on our right side. And we see cosmic vertical time, cosmic command descending. We can locate this in the middle back of our skull, halfway between the base and the crown. And we see the alpha beta. That's going to deal with the subconscious. We call it the second mental sphere of informative samadhi. Samadhi is to have profound attention and focus. And where do we get the word informative? Because that is our subconscious. And many times we forget things and our subconscious will bring it to us. That's informing us. And that will spill right over into our waking conscious. Then we go to gamma, the third eye. We see the mantra, Haraha, BMU 144. So let's see where it is. Right here, beta, beta, BMU 321. There we see it. And this part of the hollow mind perceiver, that's a 441 biochip in the middle of our corpus callosum, is dealing with cosmic cube. It refers to the highest level of cosmic mastery, entering us into higher mental design processes of co-creation. In other words, since we're multidimensional, not just 3D, we have a galactic self. This is our galactic self, to not think mundane thoughts, but to begin to think galactic thoughts, cosmic thoughts, things that are deemed to be impossible that we know that it's not, okay? This is the area, our waking conscious mediumship, but it's also the fourth time dimension, which is actually the cosmic cube. Let's see how it works. We're looking at the white wind here. White wind located down there, and we got the second circuit that is coming along here in the eighth time dimension, and it's cosmic command ascending. It's always going to be vertical time, all right? So vertical time, cosmic command ascending. It's either going to be descending or ascending, and as we see, it's only going to do that in the middle of our brain, the corpus callosum, in the seventh mental sphere. Okay, not seventh time dimension, but seventh mental sphere. And that second circuit is going to be closed, meaning that it's receiving all of the energy going around it. There's no blockages. Kali, the secret center, the sound that it makes is harem, harem. Okay, you can say harem, Ram, however you want to do it, but we know that it's HRIM, so we pronounce it as such. And this is going to close the fifth circuit. The beta alpha. We see beta alpha here, okay, BMU 331. And that's going to be the Skywalker. And it's the fifth circuit that's going to be closing. Around there, it's hitting the alternator. 3D, 4D, 3D, 4D, all the way around. And it's also in the eighth time dimension, okay? And that's going to be vertical time, cosmic command ascending. Then we go to the throat chakra, alpha, the throat chakra. And this is a chakra that states that we are willing to communicate. A lot of telepathy happens in this particular power. Okay, when we're talking about the throat, we're talking about speaking truths. We're talking about bringing things down from the higher dimensions through to our voice, which is in the third dimension, and speaking things out, speaking messages. Let's see where this is located. We're starting in the south pole, the darker, and we see the E4 electron, and that's going to be the sun. We are in inner core time. All right, on the eighth circuit, as we can see, is moving through all of the hyperpartons, okay? And that's going to be going over to the fifth mental sphere, fifth time dimension, which is superconscious. That is where the sun is connecting to, okay? The right side of our brain and the superconscious. And it opens the eighth circuit. And we can find that at the top of our skull. All right, you can always use the 3 fingers method. And then we see the BMU 414, which is the electron. Then we move on to the solar plexus, Lemi. We can see the BMU 402 there. And that's going to represent the mirror. And it also represents, even though we're going to get to it, but it's also representing the neutron, okay? And that's still going to be the 8th circuit, as we can see. We can remember the 8th circuit because we know it's going to go through those hyperparadigms. And we see that it's on the opposite side in the 6th mental sphere called subliminal consciousness. And that's BMU 402, neutron. It closes the 8th circuit. Last but not least, we have the heart, which is Celio. And we see that funny looking symbol on top of Celio, which is the Huneb Ku. And see where that's the Huneb Ku right there. It's a symbol of it anyway. It's the 11th circuit, 9th time dimension. So it's going to be found right here, V11, H11. It's going to not only activate the superconscious, it's going to make it hyper electron. Not just simply an electron. Remember, the sun was over the electron, but now that we are at the Celio, which is the 7th heptad gate, the last day, if you will, okay, for lack of, for those who are not familiar with our verbiage, it's going to activate, highly activate. That's when we say hyper. It's going to highly activate the superconscious area of our brain, which is on the right-hand side. And also on the left-hand side, it's going to make that neutron that was represented by the mirror, it's going to make it a hyper neutron in the subliminal consciousness. And we're talking the whole 7th mental sphere from the top to the bottom, meaning from Marka to Darka, North Pole to South Pole. Also wanted to add in here, because it's only so much you can get on one slide. Not only are the 5th and 6th mental spheres and time dimensions being activated hyperly so, but on the Celio, everything is activated. The 1st mental sphere, the 2nd mental sphere, the 3rd mental sphere, and the 4th mental sphere are also activated right along with the hyper electron and the hyper neutron. So I want to thank you for stopping by and look at this little lightweight video. Please look at it as much as you can. Study it, if you will. If you want to know more, let me know. I am the Original Titan, aka Michelle. You can contact me at info@theoriginaltitan.com, or simply just go to our sign up and look at what we have to offer. We do have payment plans, and believe me, this information is going to help us in this day and time, because there's so much happening out here and people seem to be hopeless. But we know that that's not the case here. We can go into other dimensions. We can go into parallel universes. We can do what we need to do so that we can finish and complete our mission, because we know that it is not about the 3D. We are transitioning from just simply humans, okay, to galactic beings in the spirit realm, all right? It's time for us to return back to it. So if you're interested, please let us know. We'll be happy, okay, and honored to instruct you in this science. Peace.